All right, welcome back. So we are here in our play one round function where we take in our jumbled word, our solution word. We have a guess, we declare the guess. Here we get the length of the word. We tell the user how long the word is. We display the jumbled word. We ask them to enter a guess. We get the guess. We change the guess to uppercase letters. We tell them what they guessed. We don't really need to keep that. Then we use string compare to see if they match. And we're going to have to stop the loop if they match. And we're going to, we're going to display the solution and then tell them if they won or lost. So here's a few things we need to do. The first thing we need to do is let's try and figure out how to do this loop. So the user gets 3 guesses. So they have a count. Int count equals 0. So we're going to, I think what we should do is use a while loop. So we're going to say while count is less than 3. So what does that mean? If count is 0, count is 1, or count is 2, then this loop will go. That's 3 guesses, right? So they go through, and if they did not guess it the first time, if they haven't guessed it, then you're going to say count plus plus. Now I don't want to jump ahead, so we're just going to do 3 times. So what's going to happen here is you're going to initialize count to 0. You're going to test, okay? This is their first time. You display it, they get their guess, then count goes to 1. So what we're testing now to make sure is that this loop goes 3 times. So let's make sure this loop goes 3 times. All right, here's the word, enter a guess, happy. Okay, here's the word, enter the guess. See, we're still using the same word. Here's the word, enter the guess, happy. Would you like to play again? No. Okay, so our loop went 3 times. And the better thing that we want to do is you want to say, here's the jumbled word, and then we also want to say, this is guess number %D. And so if we start out with count being 0, then you're going to, for your placeholder here, you would put count plus 1. Now, if that's a little confusing for you, all I'm doing is I started count at 0, and I went up to count 0 would be round 1, but that would be, this is guess number 1. 1 would be round 2, that would be guess number 2, and round 3 would be guess count would be 2, so that would be a 3. Now, if you want to be a little more, understand better, we can start at count at 1, while count is less than or equal to 3, and then we could just put count here. I think that's much easier to understand. So I'm starting my count at 1. I'm testing, so count would be 1, 2, and 3, and then once count reaches 4, we are done. So then I'm going to say this is guess number 1, then it will be guess number 2, then it will be guess number 3. So let's test it. All right, this is guess number 1, happy. This is guess number 2, happy. Doesn't matter, it's guess number 3. Happiness. Okay, and you're done. All right, perfect. So that's working. Next thing we want to do is we want to compare to see if they match. So there's a function called string compare. It is part of the string.h library. So the way I'm going to use it if string compare, and I'm going to compare the solution, which they're both uppercase, with the guess, equals 0. Now, string compare returns a 0 if two strings match, and it returns a 1 if the strings do not match. So if they do match, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the value of the variable when equals 1. So if they're going to match, then I have this variable called when, and I'm going to set the value of when to 1. Then down here, I'm going to display the solution, printf. The solution was %s. You can display it whether they won or they lost. It's up to you. I'm going to just always display it just because it makes things easier. The solution. And then I'm going to display the solution word. I have issues here again because there was orange juice spilled here on my keyboard. So the keys stick. All right. And then to tell the user if they won or lost, we have this function. This function was called win or lose. So this function is going to tell the user if they won or lost. We're going to call it, and we're going to pass it the variable win. Now the other thing I have to change is I have set this variable win to 1, but I'm actually going to set it to 0. So at the beginning of a round, the user has not won yet. The only way to change the value of this variable win, it's only going to change if the solution and the guess match, then win will change to a 1. If the solution and the guess do not match, win will remain at the value 0. The count will go up to 3, so they'll get 3 chances. So let's see what happens. So first, I'm going to do it with my first guess is happy. Okay, my second guess is happy. And my third guess is happy. And you did not win. If you notice here, it says you did not win because I didn't guess it right. Would I like to play again? Yes. Now let's see what happens if I win. I'm going to enter tiger. Okay. I'm going to enter tiger. Now, if you notice, I have to do it 3 times, but it does tell me that I won because it does find the match. But I had to do it 3 times because this loop right here is going 3 times. So I have to figure out how to stop this loop when they match. So the way that I'm going to choose to stop the loop, I am not going to add a break statement to my loop. What I am going to do is I'm going to use a logical and here that says continue with this loop if count is less than or equal to 3 and win equals 0. So what's going to happen here is this must be true and this must be true for the loop to continue. So if I guess it correctly, it's going to change the value of win. It's going to come here and it's going to do this test, and this will be true because I'm on my first guess, say, but this one will not be true, so it will stop the loop. Let's see what happens. All right, I'm going to guess happiness. Hopefully I spelled it right. And the solution was happiness, and I won, and it stopped the loop. And if I go again, so now I'm going to guess wrong, 3 times wrong, did not win. Perfect. So now everything's working. The only thing left to do is this little else right here. So I did stop the loop. I did not use a break statement. I will have the graders and I will go through the code to make sure that you do not use a break statement and also that you do not use an infinite loop with a break statement in this class. I do not teach people to do that. That is not good style. So this is an introductory programming course. So you need to control your loops. You need to have your tests, your initializations, and your updates. And you need to figure out how to stop loops without break statements. All right, the last thing you need to do here is just say else So what that's saying is the very first time around, it's going to come in here and it's not going to display any letters. If you don't win right away, what's going to happen is, we don't need those curly braces. You're going to display the first letter and the last letter. So I'm going to display the first letter and you're going to have to figure out how to display the last. No, I'll do the last letter because it's harder. Okay. \n. The last letter is, and you're going to have to add the first letter, %C, because it's a character, and \n. And we will put here, how do you do the last letter? It's the solution array at location length -1, because at location length, that's the null character. Length -1 is the last letter. So you have to do the first letter, which is going to be at location 0. Okay, let's test it. Make sure that it works. And then you just have a couple little things to fill in. This is guess number 1, happy. I did not do it right. So the last letter is S. Happy. Again, I did not do it right. I got guess number 3, happiness. And I won. Yay. Okay, next I'm going to do tiger right away. And I won. Yes. I'm going to do the Botox one. It's not Botox, it's textbook, but okay. I'm going to do book. It told me what the last letter is K, so then I guessed book. And now I'm going to lose on purpose. I did not win. Okay, so hopefully this will help you to do the assignment. I pretty much did almost the whole thing. If you need any help, please reach out and do not wait until the last minute.